Welcome to this video tutorial on evaluating web resources. In this video, we will learn how to evaluate web resources with the CRAP test, how to determine if a website is not reliable, and if Wikipedia is okay to use for research projects. The internet is a vast space of information. You will find an endless supply of data for any kind of research you could possibly do. However, the internet and the information available on it are not perfect. Just about anyone can post information on the internet, even though they may not be experts on the subject. To evaluate a website for research purposes, you will need to examine it through the CRAP test. CRAP stands for currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. First, there's currency. How current is the information on the site? Can you find a date when an article on the site was posted? When was the site last updated? Check the bottom of the page to see the most recent update. Are the links to outside sources functional? If not, it may have been a while since someone last maintained that page. Next is relevance. Does this information relate to your research needs? Check to see who the intended audience is for. Is it appropriate for college-level research, or is it aimed more towards a non-academic audience? A website's authority comes from the qualifications of the source of information. Find the author or group responsible for the website's creation. What are their credentials, and what makes them the experts on the topic? The URL of a website reveals a lot about it. Websites that end in .gov, for example, are created by government organizations and are usually appropriate for college research. .edu sites are created by an academic institution, which are again usually appropriate for your research projects. .org sites are created by an organization, but make sure you know what the organization's intentions are before you use the information for your project. .com sites are commercial and are usually not the best for college-level research. Remember, how websites end does not automatically indicate the credibility of a web resource, so be sure to evaluate a website fully. With accuracy, you want to look at the correctness of the information being provided. Look to see if the information indicates where it came from. Does it have a bibliography? Verify that the information is the same on other sources. You want to look at page content as well, such as grammar or punctuation mistakes, or to make sure that links on the site work. Finally, purpose. Why does the information exist? Look to see what the intent of the information is. Was it created for educational purposes? To sell something? To entertain? Does the author or organization clearly state their purpose? What kind of information is it? Fact, opinion, or propaganda? Look back at the author of the information. May they have some kind of bias with their affiliations? Measuring a website based just on one of these qualifiers will not reveal the big picture. Look at your site and evaluate it based on each one of these guidelines. Ultimately, in the end, the decision is yours. Let's use our judgment about Wikipedia with help from CRAP. This site automatically seems like a poor place to gather information since anyone can edit the content. However, Wikipedia can provide us relevant information by directing us to credible sources through its references at the end. Wikipedia must cite sources just as we do. Wikipedia is a great starting point to support your background research on a topic, but not a place to end. Use Wikipedia to your advantage by gathering search terms from its content, background research to point you in a more focused direction, and finding appropriate sources through the references. So when you are searching the open web for your research project, remember, if it isn't current, relevant, authoritative, accurate, or has purpose, then it's crap.